My name is Alina. I inherited my grandmother's house last spring after she passed. I was the only one willing to go through the dusty rooms and peeling wallpaper to decide what should stay and what should go. I expected old furniture, forgotten photographs, maybe a few family secrets. What I didn't expect was a box of letters that would change how I saw everything. I found the box while clearing out the attic. It was tied with a blue ribbon, the cardboard stained by time on the top, in careful handwriting. Morozova private. I opened it and pulled out the first letter, the date, May 12, 1943. The signature, yours, Ivan. I blinked. Ivan. I knew my grandfather's name was Mikhail, who was Ivan. The first letter was short, full of longing, full of love. My dearest Anya, the days are darker without you, but the stars above our camp seem to blink with your name. I carry your photo near my chest. I kiss it every night. There were dozens of letters, each one filled with poetry, pain, and promises. They weren't from a husband, they were from a soldier to a woman who was not yet a wife. I spent days reading. I didn't clean the attic. I just read, letter after letter. They told the story of Tissel's caught in war, torn apart, but forever tied. In his words, Ivan was gentle. He described mud-soaked boots, hunger, fear, but always circled back to her, to Anya, to my grandmother. One letter read, "They say we move east tomorrow. There are rumors, but I won't think of death, only of your hair, the smell of bread, the soft way you said my name." I had never heard my grandmother speak of Ivan. Never. Not once. I called my mother. "Do you know anyone named Ivan?" She was silent for a long time, then said, "Where did you see that name?" I told her about the letters, about the ribbon, the attic. She sighed, then whispered, "Ivan was her first love. She never spoke of him. We were told he died in the war." "Did grandfather know?" I asked. "I think so," she said, but he never asked. The next day, I went to the cemetery. My grandmother was buried beside Mikhail. I placed one of Ivan's letters on her grave. I whispered, "I found him. I know now." Later, I returned to the box. At the bottom, I found something new, a letter never sent, unfinished, written by my grandmother. "My dearest Ivan, I heard a rumor today that you may be gone, but I refuse to believe it. I wait, even if they call me foolish." My heart broke. I imagined her writing that, holding tears back, still wearing hope like a coat, waiting for a man who would never return. But that wasn't the end. Inside a small envelope was a photograph, a man in uniform, tall, eyes like mine, on the back, scribbled in pencil, "To my Anya, forever, I looked at his face for a long time. He had a softness in his eyes, a sadness too. That night, I couldn't sleep. I dreamed of trains, snow, letters floating in the wind, and a woman, young, beautiful, alone on a bench, reading by candlelight. The next day, I started writing a story, their story. I used every letter, every date, every word. I published the story online, anonymously. It went viral. Thousands of people read it. Some sent me messages. My grandmother had a soldier too. I cried all night. "Thank you for honoring them." A few weeks later, I got an email from a man in Poland. He said, "My grandfather was named Ivan Morozov. He died in the war, but he wrote letters. My family still has some." He attached a photo. Same man, same uniform, same smile. We met in person, two strangers holding pieces of a long-lost love. We read both sets of letters together. His family never knew about Anya. My family never knew about Ivan. But now, their love was known. I printed the letters into a book, Letters from the War. The story of Anya and Ivan. It sold thousands of copies, not for fame, but for memory. We donated the profits to a war memorial scholarship in both their names. Now, every year on May 12th, the date of the first letter, I light a candle for Ivan, for Anya, for every word that never found its way, but still lived, because love doesn't die in war. It just waits, sometimes for decades, sometimes forever. If you find an old letter, don't throw it away. Read it, honor it. You never know what heart still beats between the lines. Thank you for reading their story. Please like, share, and subscribe for memory, for truth, for every voice that never stopped waiting.